Good morning, all. I'll be talking about the role of a mentor. So, youth cannot know how age thinks and feels, but old men are guilty if they forget what it was to be young. Basically, any ophthalmologist, how much they have been into the practice, if you ask them, they were a mentee once, and if you ask them how did they succeed in life, they would definitely tell you that they had very good mentors. So what is actually a mentor? What is mentorship? It's basically a process where an experienced, highly regarded, empathetic person usually guides another individual in learning, developing, and re-examining their own ideas, along with personal and professional development of the mentee. So a mentor is someone who is having an advanced rank or experience who guides, teaches, and develops a mentee. So what are the benefits for a mentee from mentoring? It helps in career counseling. Like as I said, the earlier choices in terms of specialty and career, the earlier you get to it, the better it is. You can. Then secondly, it will brush up your clinical and research skills to a better extent, to an understanding level. It will increase your interest in research and academic careers. And as at the end, you will have more publications and more grants. And to sum it up, it will have insights in balancing work and personal life. Now, as for the mentors, it's a professional stimulation for them. If you ask them questions, even they will come prepared for. It's a personal enrichment and satisfaction when they see their mentees going up. They have increased recognition from their peers. They have a sense of giving back to the profession. And with mentoring programs will have the organizations, they will be more happier because the employees will have their approach to work with more motivation, innovation, and continuous improvement. Now, there is an endless list of desired characteristics for the mentors, but most of all, which I find it interesting, he should be altruistic, he should be an active listener, he should be someone who's senior, well respected in the field, knowledgeable, and experienced. So to some, the important ones are coaching. He should be listening. He should have an open mind. He should identify the behavior of the mentee. He should strengthen them in their areas of weakness as to what is going wrong with them, which areas should be actually more brushed. He should be felicitating, like they should put the mentees ahead, back their ideas, spread the word about the projects the mentee is working on. Coming to networking, create opportunities for the mentees to meet others who will help them provide information and opportunities, and to counsel them in areas where to avoid unconstructive arguments. Now, there are some very good mentors who think that valuing mentoring as a part of their professional role, than being more of a finding a clone where you find someone who can work under you, but when it comes to having a good improvement in the mentee is not possible. Provide both professional and personal support to the mentee. Prompt a mentee to take risk. Like you can, a good mentor would ask a mentee to start a case, or maybe he can take up a case at any level, so that could actually increase the confidence of the mentee and help him open doors to opportunities. So what are the possible barriers for mentorship programs or for the mentor? Like in Indian scenarios, we actually cannot choose our mentors. Usually we have allotments of our mentors. In Indian scenarios, we have more mentees, so one-to-one mentor-to-mentee combination is few. Then, as I said, there were institutional and hospital policies as to, even if you have a good mentor, if it's a private institution, they may not let you do more cases, or the exposure may be quite restricted. And then there are problems with advanced, like they say that mentorship program should be only for postgraduates who are in the advanced stages. And there should be, and at the end, the personal and financial resources are also constrained. Now, this was a survey which was released in the IGO last week, which showed that at least 20% of the fellows, like it was a VRSI fellowship survey where they had asked questionnaires to the fellows in retina. And this is what the results were, which was published. It showed that 20% of the fellows had performed less than 10 vitrectomies. And at the end of the course, like almost one-third of them were not confident in doing surgeries independently immediately after completing their fellowships. So there could be a lot of other problems as to why we have data like these. So somewhere it is up to the mentees how to go about getting the best from the mentors. So an ideal mentee should be an active participant when it comes to the program. He should self-assess as to what he actually wants from the mentor. He should accordingly initiate. He should be happy to receive whatever the criticism the mentor gives. He should be responsible, honest, and appreciate his or her mentor. Now, in Indian scenario, we have, or maybe outside also, we have multiple mentors. Like it's a good thing because all the one particular mentor may not have all the strengths of a complete mentor. Like some mentors would be good in surgery, some mentors would be good in academics, some mentors would be good in OPDs. So you should know what actually you want to know. Like, I mean, if you're going for a fellowship program for a 3-month course, so you should apply to a place where you can have a large volume outputs. If you want to know something about research, so when you're doing your fellowship programs or you're doing your residency programs, you should be able to know that to approach someone who can actually help you out with publications. Now there is something called as managing up, where a mentee takes ownership of and directs the relationship of the mentorship, and he lets the mentor know that exactly what he wants to know in a way communicating in which to the mentor. So the ideas are planning or setting up the agenda, then asking questions about it, and actively listening, completing assigned tasks, requesting feedbacks from the mentor. So a mentee must know that what are his working styles and personal styles, strengths and weakness, blind spots, trigger points of his and the mentees. And the key point is basically understanding himself and the mentor. So this is a checklist for the mentees as to how to go about with managing up. You should be early on, you should be knowing how to go about what exactly you want, whether you want a personal skill or academic guidance. You should have your own goals as to what you want to be in 3 months, 1 year, 2 years, 5 years down the line. You should find the mentors accordingly as to which suits you, what your deficiencies are, and then cultivating a mentor-mentee relationship to get the best out of it. Even then, you may have mismatch of goals, commitments, and expectations. There could be a reluctance on the part of the mentee to pursue his or her own development or ask for help. There could be generational tensions, and there could be personality clashes. So if a mentee knows how to go about, he knows what the situation is, and if he is able to pull through, he would be a good mentorship program. To sum it up, mentorship is an involving relationship that requires time and attention to develop and includes success and changes. Where you have a mentor's role of he being the sounding board, he would listen to him, he'll guide the mentee accordingly. And the mentee, what I would say is like he should be more active, he should take the initiation, and he should see to it that he gets the best out of the mentor. And thank you for the presentation.